we started out as a single cell and eventually grew into an organism. And the standard that is going to be covering what we're talking about is S7L2. Students will describe the structure and function of cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems. In the next few slides, I'm going to give you some notes over the cells, cell parts, and their functions. You are to copy these notes and keep them in your notebook. What is a cell? A cell is the smallest unit of an organism that carries on the functions of life. And there are two types of cells that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about plant cells and animal cells. And plant cells and animal cells both are made up of trillions of cells. And we're going to talk about the parts of those cells and the functions of each one of those parts. Now there are many parts of a cell, but we're only going to talk about a few of those parts. The first one we're going to talk about is the cell membrane. Now the function of a cell membrane is it forms boundaries in the cell. It's not only around the cell, but it's also around the organelles inside of the cell. These are found in plant and animal cells, and they allow, the ones on the outside of the cell allow things to go in and out of the cell. Just select things. It's kind of like a screen on a window. Some things can go in, like water and oxygen, and only a few things can come out, such as waste, and the cell membrane is what regulates that. The nucleus. The function of the nucleus is that it is in control of the cell. It's kind of like the brain of the body. It tells everything in that cell what to do and how to do it. It's usually located in the center of the cell. The cytoplasm is a gel-like material, and you'll find that wherever there is no organelle inside the cell, and its function is that it keeps all the organelles in place. The chloroplast is found only in plant cells. It's not in an animal cell. These are located in the leaves of plants, and this is what gives the leaves their green color. Their function is that it turns sunlight into glucose or energy. In the fall, when the leaves turn the different colors, that's because the chloroplast has left the leaf and gone back into the tree trunk. So now when you see those different colors of leaves, you're actually seeing the true color of that leaf, because in the spring and summertime the chloroplast is what's turned it that green color. The mitochondria. The function of the mitochondria is to turn food into energy. You're mainly going to find these in animal cells. Sometimes you can find a very few of them in a plant cell. You can find a lot of them in muscle cells, and that's because that's where most of the energy is needed, because you use it up in your muscles and you have to replace it, and that's why the mitochondria is there. It's turning that food into energy. Now that concludes our notes over the cells, but now we're going to jump straight into cellular organization. So remember, keep these notes in your notebook. Cellular organization is basically showing you how you are formed, and how it starts off with a little bitty tiny cell, which is the smallest unit and the simplest unit, and gradually builds, and a group of those cells form tissues, and then tissues form organs, and organs form organ systems, and organ systems form an organism. And the organism, which is you or an animal or a type of plant, and they are the most complex. Alright, we talked about cells, and now we're going to talk about how those cells that are working together, and if they have the same function, they form a tissue. And there are many different types of tissues depending on the type of cells that make it up. If you look over on the pictures over here, it shows you that you have bone tissue and cartilage tissue. You have skin tissue, intestinal villi, which is made of tissue, skeletal muscular tissue, cardiac muscle tissue, neural tissue. So there's all different types of tissues. Now, a group of tissues that have the same function and that work together will form an organ. Some examples of organs in your body are your stomach, your liver, your heart, your lungs, and other things. There are a whole bunch of organs in your body. Now those organs are going to work together and they're going to form an organ system. Some examples of organ systems are your circulatory, digestive, nervous, and there's other organ systems, and we're going to talk about those other body systems in the next set of notes. Alright, we've looked at how organ systems are formed, and now we're going to look at the different types of organ systems that are in your body, and we're going to talk about the functions of each one of those systems, and you'll see a little diagram or picture of what those systems look like in your body. The digestive system. The function of the digestive system is that it breaks down food into small pieces so it can be absorbed by the body. And the cells all over your body have to have food to live, so the digestive system is what gives them that food. And there's a picture of it at the top. The respiratory system supplies the body with oxygen, and it gets rid of gaseous waste such as carbon dioxide, and there's a picture of it at the bottom. The excretory system rids the body of waste, and this system is actually made up of 5 other systems, like the digestive system, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, the urinary system, and also the skin, because all of those systems get rid of some type of waste. There's a picture of it also at the top. The circulatory system takes food and oxygen to the cells, and it does this through the bloodstream and the heart pumping the blood to those cells. Not only does it take food and oxygen to the cells, but it also picks up their waste and delivers those wastes to the organs of the body that will help get that waste out of the body. The skeletal system gives your body shape and support. It protects vital organs and it enables you to move, so it has many different functions. Without your skeletal system, you would basically be like a big blob on the floor and you couldn't do anything. You would have no shape or anything, and none of your organs would be protected, such as your brain and your heart and your lungs. The muscular system helps you move your body. The muscles are attached to your bones, and they are contracting and relaxing, causing you to be able to move your bones. Your nervous system is made of your brain, spinal cord, and all the other nerves that run throughout your body. Your nervous system sends messages throughout the body, and they're picked up from your sensory neurons and sent to your brain and then into your motor neurons that tell you how to move your body. The immune system protects the body from diseases and pathogens, so we need to keep our immune system strong to help fight off all those colds and flu and everything else that we come in contact with every day. Alright, let's go back and look at what we've talked about in this unit. We talked about your cells and how they're the simplest part of an organism, and that they're made of many organelles that have different functions. Those cells work together and form tissues. Those tissues will work together to form organs. Your organs work together to form organ systems, and your organ systems work together to form an organism. And there are many different body systems in an organism that interact to keep that organism alive. And each one of those systems have a different function. So, we have to remember to eat healthy and exercise to keep our bodies in the best shape that they possibly can be.